Hi, welcome to cdtv.net. I'm your host, Katie Apicella. I'm standing here with Alec Baldwin, the eldest and the most notable son of Carol M. Baldwin for her breast cancer research fund. Alec, thank you for meeting with us. Can you just tell us a little bit more about the foundation and your involvement in it?
Several years ago, not several years, but about 4 years ago, the State University at Stony Brook wanted to develop a relationship with a breast cancer foundation or a breast cancer research fund for Long Island residents, because Stony Brook has emerged as kind of the preeminent medical facility on Long Island, and they wanted to get into that business, in-house. So they coupled with my mother's foundation. They helped my mother form the foundation to get involved in raising money for breast cancer research, grants, and so forth here on Long Island. Because breast cancer is, as everybody has learned over the last 10 years, it's epidemic in Nassau and Suffolk County.
I heard you talking about that earlier, that it's very prevalent here, and also not only that, but mostly it's even found stronger in affluent families as well. Is that, women are found with breast cancer?
I don't know. I don't know anything about that, about the socioeconomic, numbers there. But I do know that if you look at a map, when they do a mapping of Long Island, there are certain communities in Long Island that have much higher incidence. And there was a lot of theories that people have. Long Island historically has been a very agricultural society, and potato farming is among the most toxic farming that's known. And Long Island has basically been just pounding the ground with fungicides and herbicides and pesticides for all kinds of farming, particularly potato farming is very toxic, for over 100 years. And when you're on an island like this with a lens, so to speak, what they refer to as the lens of soil, before you get down to sand and porous rock to get into the groundwater table, the lens is very thin, and it gets thinner the more you go out on Long Island. So when you're out here on the east end of Long Island, rainwater drives those toxins into the groundwater very quickly. The toxicity of water, it gets worse as you go further out for that reason. So one of the things we're trying to do is maybe work with the foundation. I work with other groups too about getting a lot of parks, golf courses, and agriculture to get more and more into organics.
And what else is that fun? Prevention-wise, detection. What do you guys really?
Photography, counseling.
Counseling seems very important emotionally, because you can do so much physically. And do the surgery, but if you're not emotionally supported as well, I think it.
As you can well imagine, for many women, procedures that are radical procedures to deal with breast cancer are very, very demoralizing. Women have their breasts removed, and although there's better cosmetics that are done to remedy that condition, it's still a really, really defeating and really, really damaging experience psychologically. Especially now when you're talking about women who, it's a terrible fate, even if you're a woman in your 60s and 70s, but you're having more and more breast cancer develop in young women, 20 and 30 years old. So while you're still in your childbearing prime, and someone's going to tell you that you have breast cancer, you might have to have your breast removed, or lumpectomies or whatever. It's pretty difficult. So the foundation offers people rehabilitation and counseling as well, in addition to the research that goes into grants for science.
Well, I think that's really important to show, because I think your mom is such a survivor and such a strong woman. It just shows you how important it is to be there, emotionally supported, and have that love and that connection. And it just, the outpouring today is also just showing how terrific it is and how strong this foundation is. And I think that, people want to find a cure. That's why they're here, and they really love your foundation. And
well, there's just, Long Island is, I left Long Island for years, and I went to college in Washington and in New York, and I lived in Los Angeles, and I came back to the city. And if you told me 30 years ago that I was going to be the lone member of my family that still lived on Long Island, I would have laughed in your face. And sure enough, here I am years later, and I'm the only one that still has a house on Long Island. I live here. And like I said before in the comments I made, I'm not ready to write off this area. So many people will say to me, oh, Long Island is an overtly and specifically toxified region. And I believe that's true of pockets of Long Island. And I really, really want to spend the rest of my lifetime trying to find out why. We need to find out why. I
think because you're ready to do that and you're so committed to it, you probably will. Thank you very much again. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.